What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Wrestlemania 36 is less than 2 weeks away and the WWE is getting ready to tape it this week. But what will WWE do to hype the show on last night's live edition of Monday Night Raw? Join us now as Wrestlelamia analyzes Raw and looks at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including a WWE star reportedly in quarantine, a big botch on Raw, WWE offering free pay-per-views on the WWE Network, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. But let's waste no further time and get straight into the good, the bad, and the downright ugly of last night's edition of Monday Night Raw. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, minor improvements turn major. Like the 20th March SmackDown, this week's Raw was an improvement in terms of production values, with the WWE apparently learning from AEW's 18th March Dynamite that empty arena shows don't have to look soulless. The WWE dressed up the set and, perhaps more importantly, used close-ups to avoid showing the empty seats. In fact, the camera view had a little bit of a SmackDown Here Comes the Pain sort of vibe. The WWE still has to find a way to deal with the lack of cheering or booing fans, but it's doing better with the visuals. These minor improvements make a major difference from last week's show. Number 2, Seth Rollins sets things straight. Seth Rollins' promo on Kevin Owens was entertaining, showing Rollins' narcissistic side, and arguably his delusional side, as he said there would be no Performance Center or Kevin Owens without Seth Rollins. Rollins did a good job comparing his Wrestlemania track record against Owens, providing a classic heel promo as he boasted that Owens couldn't beat him on his worst day, and that Wrestlemania is never his worst day. It was one of the few highlights of largely an uneventful show. Number 3, Randy Orton writes the last chapter. With no significant matches to speak of, Raw relied on promos to energize the show, and like Seth Rollins, Randy Orton delivered, accepting Edge's challenge and defending his reputation against Edge's accusation that Orton had everything handed to him. The Viper's promise to write Edge's final chapter was the perfect follow-up to Edge's promo last week. And lastly, setting up Mania. While last night's matches were lacking, the WWE did an excellent job building up WrestleMania with AJ Styles challenging The Undertaker to a boneyard match. We're really not sure what that means other than it's another gimmick match, thus one less bout at the Performance Center, the Street Profits brawling with Angel Garza and Andrade, and Becky Lynch laying out Shayna Baszler with a chair. But that was the good. What about the bad? As number 1, too many squashes. Longtime members of the WWE Universe had to feel like they were taking an unwanted trip down memory lane as they watched tonight's Raw with one squash match after another. The team of Ricochet and Cedric Alexander were the 21st century version of the Young Stallions, while the rest of the enhancement talent had fans googling the wrestlers' names to see who they were. Now, Aleister Black made his squash match interesting, but the WWE didn't do itself any favors with its series of squashes. Number 2, highlighting its weaknesses. While this Raw was an improvement in terms of production values, the WWE made a big mistake airing marquee matches from the Royal Rumble, that being the triple threat between Brock Lesnar, John Cena and Seth Rollins, and WrestleMania of Charlotte vs Asuka in between squash matches out of the WWE Performance Center. The WWE commentators might as well have said, no, you won't see any of the spectacle of WrestleMania this year, but you will get to see main roster stars working where trainees hone their skills. Just a bad move on so many levels. And number 3, the Street Profits. Many fans find the Street Profits' backstage segments to be entertaining, but Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins were awful as guest color commentators. The Raw Tag Team Champions made less sense than Asuka did on commentary last week, and while the WWE wants to take away the viewer's attention from the lack of fans in the audience, this wasn't the way to do it. But that was the good, the bad. What about the downright ugly? While nothing broke over into the ugly side of things, last night's Raw reeked of mediocrity. It's clear from last night's show that the WWE is focused on getting through the tapings for its weekly television, then going to work on taping WrestleMania. While it would be wrong to expect a series of top matches on tonight's show, they did nothing to entertain its fans other than digging up some matches fans can see for free on the WWE Network. Last night's Raw made it clear the WWE is focused on wrapping up Mania and seeing how long before things get back to normal. It showed in last night's program, and it will be interesting to see how it shows in the ratings. But that was the good, the bad and the downright ugly. Let's move on to the news, where our first story looks at a WWE Superstar in Quarantine. And with the current health crisis, WWE is making changes to Wrestlemania every day, even removing wrestlers from matches without pretty much any explanation, and one in particular that affects the six-pack challenge title match. According to WWE.com, it will now be a fatal 5-way elimination match, as WWE have removed Dana Brooke. So what has happened to Brooke? Well, according to Dave Meltzer, Brooke is sick and is currently in quarantine. He mentioned on the recent Wrestling Observer Radio that Dana Brooke was in the match, but now she's out of the match. She's in quarantine right now. They don't want to take any chances. They pulled her out of the match because she's sick. They're concerned. Now hopefully that isn't the case, and we wish Brooke a speedy recovery. Now whilst it might be a fatal 5-way match right now, could they add Nia Jax to make it a 6-pack challenge again? Next up, a big botch on Raw. And during the tag bout between Andrade and Garza versus Ricochet and Alexander, fans would have noticed a big mistake made by the referee as he counted to 4 instead of 3. Did you guys notice the mistake? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, WWE is offering free pay-per-views on the WWE Network. With many people forced to stay at home, the WWE is offering viewers a chance to sample some of the promotion's biggest shows. According to WrestleZone, the company has unlocked thousands of extraordinary on-demand content, including every WrestleMania in history, countless pay-per-view spectaculars, original documentaries, and more for a limited time. In addition, the network is offering complimentary access to every Royal Rumble, SummerSlam and Survivor Series event, every NXT TakeOver and NXT UK TakeOver, and groundbreaking originals such as the entire WWF 24 docu-series, Steve Austin's Broken Skull Sessions interview show, the recent 5-episode hit, WWE Ruthless Aggression, and its 20-episode predecessor, the Monday Night War series. This might be good for lapsed subscribers who can no longer get a free month of WWE Network, perhaps encouraging them to renew their subscription in order to watch WrestleMania 36. If you're looking to access this freebie, no word on when it ends, go to watch.wwe.com. Next up, WWE Superstars and staff on lockdown. The week of 22nd March is arguably one of the most important weeks in WWE history as the promotion tries to salvage WrestleMania during a global crisis. According to PW Insider, the WWE isn't taking any chances with things. We are told WWE has everyone in town for the Performance Center tapings locked down at one hotel. They have completely taken over with morning production meetings in a conference room. Only Florida-based producers are working the tapings this week. We are told Jamie Noble, Adam Pearce, Road Dogg and Shawn Michaels, who is pitching in, have been at the tapings. WWE did not bring in producers who live in other parts of the country. The WWE has proved that it excels at logistics as it boasts a world-class touring company. If they can bring WrestleMania to air, this could go down as one of Vince McMahon's biggest accomplishments. Next up, Dynamite Done? No, AEW Dynamite doesn't look like it's going away for good, but it could be put on hiatus thanks to a potential lockdown in Jacksonville, Florida. As of 18th March, AEW began filming Dynamite from Daly's Place, a 5,500 person arena that has no fans present. However, as Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry continues seeing people ignoring his recommendations for social distancing, Brian Alvarez commented on Wrestling Observer Live, "I think the bigger issue is that the Jacksonville mayor is looking to strengthen his executive order in an effort to increase people working from home and further limit interactions as the number of cases of the outbreak continues to rise." According to Ringside News, the proposed order by Mayor Curry would require city employees to work from home if possible, and if they did work in an office, to stay 6 feet apart. If this was implemented in the private sector, it would kill any chance of wrestling taking place. Currently, AEW is able to continue producing Dynamite at Daly's Place, but it might find itself looking for another venue depending on what happens in Jacksonville. As we've speculated, AEW might find a way to gain access to a TNT studio, but there would be the requisite travel problems that could hamper or even prevent AEW wrestlers and personnel from making it there. Next up, AEW Taping Dynamite. With so much to air, AEW may have started taping portions of Dynamite and could begin taping entire shows. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer reported, "They did tape other stuff last week and they will tape other stuff this week as well. As far as like full episodes, you know every week is a new week. Maybe they'll do it this week, but it isn't like they tape 2 shows because as of right now, they're gonna tape this week. As of right now, they're gonna tape stuff the week after, and after that, who knows." they will be taping more than the live stuff this week. As far as whether it's for Dark or further episodes of Dynamite, that is to be determined. A tape show is better than no show, so AEW may opt to hedge its bets and tape at least one more edition of Dynamite. With WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump suggesting he'd like to see the economy start rolling again, AEW may be able to continue filming at Daly's place. However, it's clear that the promotion isn't going to take Dynamite on the road anytime soon. And finally, AEW rescheduled 4 more events. AEW has announced that it had to reschedule 4 events due to the ongoing health crisis. According to Ringside News, AEW had to reschedule the following episodes of Dynamite. The 22nd April show in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania has been rescheduled to the 29th July. The 29th April show in Texas has been rescheduled to 4th November. The 6th May show in New Orleans, Louisiana has been rescheduled to 2nd December. And the 13th May show in Albuquerque, New Mexico has been rescheduled to 30th December. At this point, there is no word on whether any more shows will be rescheduled. But there you have it, guys, the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.